This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Monday means it's Modern Monday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and today we get to look at a new take on one of my favorite modern archetypes, and that is Aristocrats. This is Abzan Aristocrats, and we've played some budget versions that are sort of similar in the past, but this one gets some sweet new additions from some of the newer sets, and it looks really, really fun. So it comes to us from Taco Farmer, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a competitive Modern League on Magic Online. So congrats to Taco Farmer on a super sweet deck. A quick reminder before we break down Abzan Aristocrats for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you'll want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Abzan Aristocrats is kind of like a weird creature-y combo deck, and plan number one of the deck is to get some creatures in our graveyard. So the big new addition that really powers this deck is Stitcher's Supplier, just being 1 mana, coming down, milling 3 cards, and then when it dies, perhaps if we sacrifice it to a Viscera, it mills 3 more cards. So what we really want to be doing with this deck is just stocking our graveyard full of cheap creatures. So the combo of Stitcher's Supplier and Viscera to not only sack Stitcher's Supplier, but other random creatures, helps make sure that we get a bunch of cheap creatures in our graveyard. And then we have kind of our payoffs, which are Blood Artist and Zulaport Cutthroat. So you can kind of see where this is heading. Let's say we, get down a Stitcher Supplier, get down a Viscera, get down a Blood Artist. When we sack our Stitcher Supplier, we get to drain our opponent for 1. And those effects stack up. If we have multiple Blood Artists, multiple Zulaport Cutthroats, then we're draining for 2 or 3, and it just piles up from there. So we're trying to set up a scenario where we get a big board full of cheap creatures, we sacrifice them to Viscera to get a bunch of triggers from our Blood Artists and Zulaport Cutthroats, and then the big payoffs are Rally the Ancestors and Return to the Ranks. These cards, for a relatively cheap price, like Rally the Ancestors for 4 mana, is going to get back all of our creatures from the graveyard temporarily. So we play our stuff, we stock our graveyard with Stitcher Supplier, we sack all of our stuff to get a bunch of Blood Artists and Zulaport Cutthroat triggers, then we just Rally the Ancestors everything back, sack everything again to sort of like double up those drain triggers, and hopefully just kill our opponent with direct damage. Return to the Ranks a little bit slower than Rally the Ancestors. Rally has upside of just getting back everything. Return to the Ranks can get back some things. Convoke does help since we can tap cheap creatures, and we can do tricks where we like Rally the Ancestors, get back some stuff, sack some stuff, Return to the Ranks, bag that stuff, sack some more stuff. So what we're really trying to do is just get ourselves into a position where Rally the Ancestors combined with our sacrifice effects, our Blood Artists, our Zulaport Cutthroats, is going to be lethal and drain our opponent out of the game. As far as the rest of the deck, Elvish Visionary and Voice to Resurgence are really good sacrifice fodder because each of them kind of gives us a double sacrifice trigger. So Elvish Visionary comes down, draws us a card, so hopefully it draws us another cheap creature that we can then sacrifice. Voice of Resurgence just is very straightforward. We get a creature, we sack it, we get another creature, which naturally doubles up our triggers with our Blood Artists, with our Zulaport Cutthroats, and then when we Rally the Ancestors or Return to the Ranks Voice of Resurgence back, that's 2 more triggers. So it kind of is a way we can just get even more sacrifices out of our creatures and even more drain triggers out of our Blood Artists. Eternal Witness, it's a good way to just get back something from the graveyard for value, or we can get back like a Return to the Ranks, for example, for even more graveyard shenanigans. Then we have a bunch of mana creatures, and these creatures kind of do double duty. So first they speed up our deck, allowing us to empty our hand really quickly, getting us to our big Rally the Ancestors as early as possible, and then they're also cheap sacrifice creatures, so we can play them for 1 mana, sacrifice them to get a bunch of triggers, get them back when we Rally or Return to the Ranks. Finally, we have Collected Company, which is just too much value to pass up. All of the creatures in our deck are 3 or less mana. We have 31 creatures in the deck, so we're almost always going to hit 2 creatures with Collected Company, and that's a way we can dig to find our combo pieces, find our sack outlets, find our Stitcher Suppliers, find our Voice of Resurgences to double up in whatever. So just a really powerful value card for kind of setting up our combo. Otherwise, for defense, just a single Worship. So no Path to Exiles, no real removal in the main deck, but Worship does give us a way that we can kind of lock some decks out of the game, keep us alive for a little while we're trying to set up our combo. As far as the mana base, fetch lands, shock lands, couple of Horizon Canopies, some basic lands, a couple of Blooming Marshes. In the sideboard, we get a bunch more for aggro. Worship, Settle the Wreckage, Lone Missionary just helps make sure we stay alive while we're setting up our combo. For more controlling matchups or comboing matchups, Evolutionary Leap, a great way to just grind out value. Sacking creatures, getting more creatures, filling our graveyard. So in slower controlling matches, we can slip this in under the counters on turn 2, and then it's really hard for our opponent's targeted removal to do anything because we're getting another creature. We don't really care what our creatures are. Like, we just want creatures in a general sense, and eventually Leap will find us what we need. Thalia to help against combo. Thoughtseize to pick apart answers from our opponent's hand, Stony Silence, Rex Age for artifacts and enchantments, and that is Abzan Aristocrats for Modern, and that is our instant deck tech for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.